What is up, Shadow Sessions Paranormal family? It's been a hot minute. It's probably been, since March at least?
Like 2 months.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. We are back in the studio again, back at you again with another post-investigation podcast. This is going to kind of be a follow-up from the episode that we just dropped like 2 weeks ago, by the time you guys are watching this, from our time at Madison Seminary. Tried to reach out to Kate, but she's a square, and I had to do this thing called work, so she wasn't able to jump on. But we'll get her on again soon. But yeah, thank you guys for your patience. We're gonna try to post a little more consistently. Have a couple plans for some videos to come out soon. A couple collabs, a couple more podcast episodes coming out. You guys know how it is. Life just gets busy, and shit can hit the fan. So, but yeah, like I said, we're back in the studio, back at Caleb's casa, and we're gonna talk about the wild episode that we just released that is probably one of the best editing videos that Olivia's done so far. It only took her 6 months.
Actually, guys, it took me like a month. However, it was also finals.
Likely excuse. But she did an excellent job. I've actually had several people that reached out and said that it was probably some of the best editing that we've had so far.
I'm happy, though, because it's like our first couple of videos, you can see the difference with the editing. And then I tried something new where it was like the explanation of the area and then the investigation of that area. But I've been playing around too with like the intros and outros.
Whose idea was that, though?
So, of course.
It was mine.
But who did it? Me. I don't know. I like seeing the change over time so far, but it makes me excited to see like, okay, if I was able to edit this video this way, then in a couple months.
Caleb's dying in the corner.
I'm talking here.
But
Kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great episode. It was
a crazy night.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The weather, it's so weird. Every time we go up to Madison, normally it rains, it snows, it hurricanes, it does something crazy. But this time, the weather was completely fine.
It was weird.
It was completely fine, and probably one of the most active nights at Madison. I mean, from the minute we got there, Adam did our tour, and I think the first thing that I vividly remember was that knock or that scrape or whatever it was that we heard when we were down in the whole room.
Yeah.
Adam was talking about the wolf man or the
wolf
shirt
wolf
man.
T-shirt.
The wolf shirt, and I heard it.
Shout out Adam for clipping that.
100%. I heard it, and I kind of like waited, and then Adam was like, "You heard that, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And it I don't know. That for me was when it was really like, "Holy cow!" This is if we're hearing stuff and we're getting stuff while Adam is giving us a tour, like that was nuts.
I feel as if like Adam being there might add like they feel comfortable. It's a face they see all the time. Sometimes you go in there, it's a completely different group, and they might be a little shy, but having that familiar face, telling the stories, telling possibly their story, they're a little bit more willing to talk, make noise, let them be known pretty much.
Yeah. I thought it was cool how he kind of filled us in on some information that when we filmed that episode, it wasn't like widely known. It was with the I think it was when that TV show came in, and he was filling us in on some information with that. I mean, guys, when we filmed that episode, I mean, that was like a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months at this point.
It was like
so
April 1st, I think.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was the first week of April. So I mean, at this point, it's May 18th when we're filming this episode, and it'll be May 19th when you guys see this. So I mean, it's been a hot minute, but there was some stuff that he told us, and I was like, man, that's kind of crazy. And then everything just it just progressively got crazier and crazier as the night went on.
And we've been there 4 or 5, like I have. I know Olivia's been there 15 times now, so it's cool to.
I'm at like 10 or 11.
Every time you go there,
She was there this morning.
Adding more to the story.
I was there 12 hours ago.
I think so. When we did the tour with Adam, Caleb, I want to have you talk about this. When we were in Sarah's room, talk about that sound, because I want you to talk about it first, and then Olivia and I are going to talk about what happened a couple weeks before when we were investigating with our friends Charlie and Alex.
Oh, I forgot Caleb wasn't there for that one.
He wasn't there for the first one, so I want to kind of go and then
Yeah,
go
it was.
backwards. You weren't? Were you there with Charlie?
Yes.
Was he?
Whoops.
Yes. I was there.
Okay, I was gonna say I feel like Caleb was there, but
Do you know what?
I just have a forgettable face.
No,
Sorry.
no. You're right.
See
You're
how
right.
it is.
Because I asked Charlie. I said, "You're not going to stab me, are you?" And his response was, "Well, I don't have anything sharp on
Yep.
me." And I said, "Charlie, that's not the fucking response I'm looking for."
that did happen.
Well, Caleb, nevertheless, you can explain what that sound that we heard was when we were in Sarah's room,
I said, like,
and also if you want to talk about the
weird coincidence with Adam's dream.
with Adam's dream, and then the when they were talking on the far side.
Oh,
And-
with Alex and them there.
Yeah, and we couldn't hear them. Yeah.
Yeah, so
My bad, bro.
that whole hallway, I'll start with the dream part. So the very first time we went there, that was 3 years ago at this point. I remember I was doing an SD session in the main hallway up, I think that's the 3rd floor. And I was sitting in front of the room that supposedly the warden's wife had shot herself in the middle of the night. I don't believe that story at all. I think he killed her and it was a cover-up story. Because how do you shoot yourself and no one hears it, no one knows what's going on? It's something had to have been done.
Mm-hmm.
But doing an SDs, and at that point you heard running on the ceiling, not like someone was up on the floor above you, but it was, feet on the
Gives
ceiling
me
or
chills
claws
thinking about
hitting,
that, dude.
scratching, running down. So you got up, ran, looked at it originally. Connor saw a shadow down the hallway. The whole time I'm still sitting there blindfolded, headphones on, doing an SDs. And I remember the second time because the running came back, you jumped over me again. And I'm like, okay, I'm taking this off. I don't know what's going on. And I opened my eyes and
you were by yourself, because when the running came back,
yeah, you guys were down at
Connor
the end of the hallway.
Connor saw a full shadow figure cross the opposite hallway. So his ass ran, and I ran after him. So Caleb's by himself
It's
completely.
a big U, pretty
Yeah.
much, and I'm on one side of it. But I remember taking my blindfolds off and just seeing an old woman's face, like curly hair, dark eyes, just kind of peeking around the corner of the door, and then like a flash, it was just gone. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm out of here as well. Everybody else has already ran in the hallway. It's time for me to go. So talking with Adam, him hearing after he was living there like 6 months or so, waiting for the keys and waiting for everything to actually be built for the back house.
Yeah.
He had a dream where he was seeing an old woman standing saying he needed to go out in the hallway or needed to leave the building, right?
No, I think she was standing in the hallway and was saying like they're coming or something like that.
Something that woke him up.
It's giving me chills thinking about it.
But him
because,
describing the
gross.
same old lady, it's just in that exact same area. Something has to be there. It was just too coincidental that me and Adam had not talked about that story at all. Either one of our experiences, it just lines up so much. So that was already just.
And that's the hallway to the left
When
on
you go up the main
2.
stairs. Is it 2?
On the second floor, because Sarah's room's on 3, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then so we were down on the second floor. So those of you guys that have been there, just so you guys can orient yourself, you walk up the stairs on the asylum side, turn left, walk to the end of the hallway, and turn right. And it's the last room on the left is kind of where it is, just to kind of orient yourself.
So like
continue, sorry.
that was a wild story. But then while we're in there talking with that, I'm in Sarah's room. He's kind of giving us a little history, what his beliefs are with the mimic or whatever this spirit of Sarah is. We heard a bang, which we thought it was okay, someone coming up the stairs. So like we all ran down there, like Adam's literally yelling out, like, "Who's in here?"
We
Who's
thought it was
coming up the
Becca coming
stairs?"
in or something like that.
No one was there. No idea what it was. But to us, it was the exact same noise we had heard, 2 weeks prior? 3 weeks prior?
2 or 3 weeks prior, yeah.
When we were there with Charlie and them. But we never figured out what that noise was that night. I mean, we looked around, searched everything, trying to open and close windows to see if it was possibly moving boards, whatever we could.
Because the weather was crazy that night.
Yeah,
like it was
real
I think
windy.
it snowed or something like that.
But could not figure out what it was. So then, leading to 5 hours later during the investigation, hearing the exact same noise again when we're in the exact same room. And like we always talk about, it's whatever is, if you're in Sarah's room, it wants you into the hallway. I don't know if it wants you in Sarah's room, if it's trying to separate people. I don't know. Like that's the vibe I get. It's
Yeah.
always trying to pull you out. You have the second you go in there, you'll have walking in the hallway. You'll hear knocks. Whatever it is, it always gets you out in the hallway. And then Sarah's room is like a safe space for them. It seems like they don't like people in there. But we spent a good half hour.
But it's like once it distracts you out, when you go back into Sarah's room, then there's nothing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what was even crazier, so like to us, like, so going back to like when we investigated with Charlie and Alex, going back, it sounded like a 2x4 hit the ground. Like, and it
was
echoed.
loud.
It was loud. Like we all heard it. But the craziest thing is myself, Olivia, Caleb, and Charlie, we're all sitting in Sarah's room, and Alex and a couple of her friends are on the other
And
side of the
layout
building.
is like this. Like we're over here all the way in the back corner in Sarah's room. They are all the way,
directly across from
Yeah, we
us.
can see them through the window.
We can
Yeah.
see them
but we can't hear them
at all.
at all. We can't hear them talking. We can't hear them moving. Like you're
But
far enough
what's
away.
crazy is once we heard that banging sound, we could hear them clear as day.
And,
Clear as day.
Yeah.
Because
we thought they like started yelling. Like we even had them.
Well, we asked them, like, did you guys just start talking? And they're like, no, we've been talking and walking around this whole time.
Because I remember she said she dropped a flashlight or something. We were like, okay, drop
Yeah.
it again for us,
And
just so we can know.
And we
that
couldn't
is
even
the
hear
exact- Couldn't hear it at all. It was like a bubble. Like you're in Sarah's room, and it was just like a bubble blocking, and it was just like that pop, that noise, and it was just like it felt like I had like parabolic mics on, which makes no sense with not having anything on your ears.
Yeah.
But it was like, why is my hearing so heightened right now when I didn't have anything before?
yeah, so to kind of recap, we heard that sound about 2.5 weeks before,
So, like, early, March?
like end of March ish. Adam's giving us a tour. We hear it again, and it's 6:30, 7 o'clock. Like it's still daylight outside, and we hear it. We think something, and then about 11 o'clock, we're investigating. Shit's been kind of crazy the entire night. Olivia is laying on the bed in there.
I was ready to take a nap.
Olivia was ready to take a nap.
Sarah's bed is the comfiest bed.
Side note, some of the best sleep I've ever had has been in haunted buildings. Like Pine Lawn,
Besides seeing that,
the man with the
Cowboy
hat.
hat?
The hat man was I took too many Benadryl, and the hat man was coming for me, and I didn't want to see him. But about 11 o'clock, we're sitting in Sarah's room. We had just started a session. And what we were talking about, I think we were talking about sounds. We were talking about how Sarah's room feels a certain way. And then we hear that same sound again.
I think immediately before I think I asked, is anybody here with us? And then it was silent. And Caleb like went to say something, and right as he did, it was just boom.
And you guys heard it in the video. Like that was
It was
the video
loud.
doesn't do it justice.
It sounds like
I say you even
A
see me in the
wood board
video. I'm
falling.
looking forward, and I'm just like, hold on,
Yeah,
what was that?
we didn't amplify the audio on that at all, right? Okay.
No.
I didn't know.
No.
Like I said, Olivia
pretty sure we
does.
did.
I do all the podcast episode editing. Olivia handles all the investigation stuff. So we didn't edit that at all.
and this is Caleb.
And this is Caleb.
I have a
This
desk.
is his house.
So the crazy thing is it even sounded so much louder in the moment when it happened. And we walked down the
But
hallway.
when you're in a dead, silent, giant, empty building, any noise is going to be loud. So then when it's an actual loud noise,
You know, that just makes me think what we were talking about when he was talking about the mimic and all that stuff, talking about the idea of it's another spirit and we're constantly asking for Sarah, 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 and another spirit's getting angry. The other name was Elizabeth Stiles, right? That's another woman who passed away. Do you remember that Olivia got Stiles on the Estes that night?
She did.
did I?
Yeah.
And you were down that hallway. You yelled out Stiles, and I was like, hold on, Elizabeth Stiles. So it makes, I just now thinking about this.
Well, so we found out. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. So we found out where that sound came from.
yeah.
It came from. So when you guys, again, you walk up the main stairs, you turn left, And if you walk straight, you're going to see 2 door frames. The door frame immediately to the left is going to be like a kind of like a double room. There's like some mattresses in there. There's a mirror that's covered. And then there's a door that had chunks knocked out of it from getting what we're assuming is being slammed into that dresser.
Well, because prior to that, though, we went around and all the doors in the hallway have like the little windows that open, and we're like, is it this? Is it a door handle? If a door flings open, is it a door slamming shut? Is it
outside?
There was some rooms that had like picture frames on the walls or actual like wooden boards, like door stoppers, and we're like, is it this? Is it this? Is it this?
So we tried.
And Caleb was like, guys, come
50
here.
50 different noises. Like, nope, not that one.
And
nope, not
we
one.
made Kate originally test it out, and we put Kate in Sarah's room. And Caleb slammed the door into the dress. Not even slammed it. You kind of just like pushed it.
He pushed it with some force.
Like,
we didn't break it, Adam, if you're listening.
Super easy, but you had to push it a little bit, and it was easy.
He pushed it, and it makes sense too because the corner of the desk has chippings, and the door has chippings from its over time.
It has to do it all the time.
It has to do it multiple times.
And again, we could be completely incorrect. It could just be the world's most craziest coincidence. But the fact that we heard that sound 3 separate times, and it wasn't just the 3 of us.
For the record, there's not a breeze in there either.
No, I checked every one of those windows and made sure everything's closed. It's no temperature change, nothing.
We had another guide. Charlie's a guide at Madison. He heard it. Adam was there, and he can verify the second one. Kate heard the third one. And
like we had 5 of us here the first time and 4 of us, or this night, not with Charlie, but there was 5 of us when Adam was there and 4 of us the second time.
Yep.
And we all heard it.
Yep. So that was crazy. And I don't know if you were able to hear it when you watched through the video, but the woman singing.
I still need to listen to it with headphones. I watched it on the TV
so
and just
Kate
I couldn't hear it.
A camera up.
Fucking disgusting.
Kate put a camera
disgusting.
Up in the doorway of that door that slams into the corner of the desk.
Looking down the hallway.
And she had it looking down the hall. She had it looking in the room.
She had it looking down the hallway.
Oh, it was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, because
it was dark.
Because we had our Nova from Lauren Hellickson pointing down the hallway.
Oh, that makes sense.
Shout out, Lauren. We love you.
She had it there. And it's like 3 weeks later, and I'm editing, and I had to like go back in because Kate texted and she's like, so guys, about Madison, do you guys have a Google Drive thingy that I can put some clips in? And we're like, what did you get?
Pages.
Whole log.
Pages
it's
of
like
shit.
This time walking, this time gunshot, this time voices. And like I had to sort through them. But the ones that I include are the ones that you can very clearly hear. But the footsteps is we were in Sarah's room for some of them, and then we were upstairs, I believe.
I think all of them we were up in Sarah's room because I think we pulled the camera upstairs. So most of this happened while we were in Sarah's room.
But you were sitting in a chair.
Yep.
Kate was sitting in a chair.
You were asleep on the bed.
I was awake, but I was laying still in the bed.
Barely.
Yeah, I was.
And Caleb was sitting in a chair with the creepy doll behind him. And we heard nothing in the hallway. And like I said earlier, like that, the building is so big. When there's 4 people dead silent and no one else in there, you can hear a pin drop. You can hear everything. So to hear the singing and the footsteps and everything else on camera when we didn't hear it with our own ears was kind of wild because we weren't being loud. We were being quiet.
And I mean, like at a certain point, you can hear us talking very far up in the distance, and like that was tagged. Like you can tell very clearly that it's us.
But the woman singing,
we're not singing.
I didn't sing. Kate didn't sing.
I sing a little higher than that.
I mean, I've got a glorious voice.
But you guys didn't sing, and none of us, like nobody went like oh or no, like. None
it was
of us made.
It was sustained.
I
singing.
went through and I watched our whole entire investigation after we found, because that was after we figured out about the door. I went back and I watched our entire investigation to see if anyone made like a noise that could have been the singing, or to see if we hit anything that could have been like a boom, like a gun. It's gunshot, loud thud kind of thing. We don't know what it is.
A piercing sound.
But But the footsteps are so distinct.
So I will say I couldn't hear the footsteps, but I could hear the singing. I could hear the singing, but I couldn't hear the footsteps.
Yeah, I gotta listen.
Did you watch with headphones on?
No, so I heard the singing. I cranked the volume up and just held it up to my head because I was laying in bed when I watched it.
Well, use headphones
Like
next
6
time.
p.m.
I know.
Don't knock a 6 p.m. bedtime, my guy.
It's like 5 days after I post it, and I was asking about the video, and they're both like, "Oh, I haven't watched it yet."
Because it took 5 days to upload because your Mac is broken.
It's because YouTube hates me because we need to learn. If anybody knows how to, because my Adobe's been doing good, it's if anybody knows how to make a large file upload faster on YouTube.
It's
Let a
literally
girl know.
It's literally your computer. It's 100% Olivia. I uploaded the last investigation video.
But here's the
hang
thing,
on. To both YouTube and Spotify at the same time, and was working on schoolwork, and it took 15 minutes.
She's got the hamster still running on the inside of the computer.
It's running backwards. We love you very much.
I hate them both.
But Madison, back to Madison. It was probably one of my more favorite times that we've been. I mean, it was great to have Kate with us, and it was even better to have
We had Adam there.
Yeah, to have Adam there for that tour. And I'd love to get
Adam, you did a great job.
We want to get him on sometime soon. We had a little bit of a shift. We were going to have a guest for this episode, but life happens and you got to be able to quickly pivot, which we did. But love to give both Adam and Becca time because I'm sure that Adam probably has insights insight for days, and that one will be a Joe Rogan style podcast that takes like 4 hours because we're just talking and shooting the shit. But that Madison was amazing.
The whole room. The Estes session that Caleb did. As I'm sitting in the hole.
I don't
remind us.
I was saying I don't even. I mean,
it was crazy.
I don't know what you guys were asking.
Caleb was under. I'm sitting in the hole where a baby, a woman, nothing is buried. Don't know. Shelly said last night that when people start asking questions about what happened to whoever is buried down there, it tends to spike up the activity. And so we directed the Estes towards it. And then Kate's there and we had the EMFs that were going off. But it was, I can't remember exactly, so don't quote me. Go back and rewatch the video. But it was, were you buried here? And your answers were corresponding in the manner that something is buried here, something happened. And I was like, did something hurt you? And you were your answers were yes, or hurt, harm, something. And then you said below you.
We did have the REM pod over. We did have the REM pod over in the corner that was chirping real motherfucking loud.
I can't remember the exact questions and answers, but it was insane because it was going hand in hand with buried under. Then I was like, "Well, where are you?" And you went below. It was.
That's the fun thing about it.
It was weird.
It's you have no idea what's going on, what's being asked. When everything just lines up, it's and
I don't hear a damn thing.
That's why I enjoy it. It's okay, this is given a purpose. This is things are making sense as opposed to just.
Remember when we were
words.
The first time that we actually I think it was when we were investigating with Connor. You had made a comment about it's so crazy to hear the questions that you guys were asking and then what my responses were and being able to kind of correlate between the two. Because up until we started doing this all together, I mean, we're obviously not pros and we're doing this for shits and giggles, but we were just cool. We recorded it and then it'll sit on a flash drive or on an SD card.
Is you guys go in to watch and see if it corresponds. And when I go in to watch, all I hear is them just talking shit about me while I have headphones on. We should leave this bitch.
One day we will.
Die there, haunt there, I guess.
Yeah, I think that was at ISS though.
Yeah.
It was the light. I said something about the light, and then the light turned on right behind me.
Yeah, that was interesting. And I'm part of me I'm kind of bummed that I can never hear anything through Estes, but then at the same time, like when both of you guys go under, like whether it's
I like
one
when
or
we
just
do it
both,
because
it's crazy.
when Caleb goes under, it always stirs shit up. When I go under, it's almost always really talkative. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. But it's like if Caleb's doing it and isn't getting a lot, then if I do it, it's like vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do want to, I was just thinking about this. I remember when we were up on the top floor on the asylum side, I'm sitting in that chair because like we were looking down the hallway to where like the doctor's office was.
Whatever those noises were.
We heard all those loud noises that were to
Oh,
my left, and
yeah.
like one of them like scared me out of my chair. And I'm like, I don't want to be here
When
anymore.
I was there last night, we were all in a big group in the
'Cause the
middle
REM pod
of the
chirped.
floor, almost where we were, and I thought someone was walking over there. There was loud noises. Also,
So gross.
can I backtrack to that old woman for a minute?
Yeah.
For a split second?
Go for it.
So, I was briefly telling you about this, but
Oh, when we were driving over.
yeah.
Okay.
So, I believe I already put
You talk. I think you
I
talked
believe
about
that
this,
I've already
yeah.
talked about my dream that I've had. Long story short, the emotions room up on the 4th floor, I have this reoccurring dream, and it's a woman and what I believe is her daughter or a younger version of her, etc. A very accurate description of how I see her, like the long, slightly curled, half up, half down hair, white dress, puffy sleeves, lace trim. It's weird. I was talking to Shelly about this last night. Shelly is a guide at Madison. She's a part of Mad Crew. I adore her.
Shout out Shelly.
I was talking to her about this dream and just kind of getting her opinion on it because she knows a lot more about the buildings and the spirits. And I gave her the description of this woman, and she pulls out a drawing of the same woman. But the first drawing that she had was the same woman, but in an older presence. And Shelly's like, this is the same woman because I've seen her in many different stages, and she's seen her with almost the exact description that I gave in like her younger stages, but she sees her a lot when she's older, like how the age she was when she died. And she's in like a white gown, and Shelly said that she has a little bit shorter hair, darker hair, but like the gray's coming through, but like some brown, and real big eyes, same white dress, everything, but her hair's kind of like in front of her face. Shelly said it looks like the girl from what is it, The Ring? What's it called?
Sarah? You talking about the ring where she climbs out the
Crawls
TV?
out.
Yeah.
I think it's Sarah or something.
But
like
it's this old woman. So Shelly also said that, you know, sometimes like you'll see this woman, you never know what stage, maybe in a dream, maybe you'll just see her in person during an investigation. You don't know. However, she likes to try to scare people off. She has split personalities, is what Shelly was explaining about this woman. And she likes to present herself as an elderly woman, like how she looked when she died, to scare people off, to scare them, to like show herself. I forget the exact reasoning that Shelly gave me, but she said that one time her and Addie were walking through the building, and they walked past one of the bathrooms. I forget if she said on 2 or 3, but she walked past one of the bathrooms, and Addie was kind of like, because she saw that old woman in the gown with the hair and everything else. And so now when you were telling that story, I had the conversation with Shelly like 13, 14 hours ago, and I can't stop thinking about it because I have this dream all the time about this lady, and it's weird. But when you started talking about that woman, I forgot that like 2 years ago you saw that woman. So now I'm wondering if you've seen this woman, and Adam's seen this woman, and Addie has seen this woman, and Shelly, and like I've never seen her old, if it is the same woman, but I'm wondering if it's all connected and if it's all the same and if it is the same woman. Because Becca has also had, I believe she said that Becca has drawings of her, Steve has drawings of her, I believe.
Steve from Haunted Nights.
Yes.
Those of you that are listening.
Haunted Nights events. That's why I was at Madison.
So my question is it Sarah? Is it somebody else?
I don't know if Shelly got a name, but Shelly has kind of pieced some stuff out about her by like the things that she's seen. And there was a lot of trauma that this girl's gone through. She was like a young girl, and there was like a lot of elderly, like older women there. So you can imagine a lot of trauma, and it led to like split personality disorder. So she could be one. It could be different personalities. It could be
a combination of several people
imitating. Like I don't know. I didn't get like and that's the thing though. I was like, I don't know if we'll ever know.
That's
but
the
I'm
interesting
wondering.
thing about paranormal.
I can't
never
help but think like if you've seen an old woman, and Adam, and Addie, and Shelly, and then there's drawings of it, and then like I've seen maybe the same woman, but like in a younger, like it just, is it all connected? Is it the same woman? Because if she was able to go in the bathroom where Addie saw her, then obviously she's not confined to that room. Like that room is her room, but she's not confined to it. Like she's able to move around the building then, or at least go present herself to like scare people, etc. So I'm wondering if it's the same.
It's interesting. My question is everybody else has seen it. Raven, when are you going to see her?
Dude,
ever since I had the dream the first time, it started reoccurring, and I had it like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Do you know what I just thought of?
When I knew that I was coming here, and I had to talk to Shelly, when I found all this out, when the descriptions matched and there were variations of her, I
want to ask Brent, because Brent saw a full body apparition on that side of the building of a woman.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Yeah, going by the stairs. So I'm curious if
I want to know.
Yeah. So we'll get Brent on the podcast soon.
I'm going to text Shelly later because I wanted to text Shelly about some more stuff. And I'm going to ask her or tell her about. I completely forgot that you saw that woman that night. I just remember you guys saying like something was on the ceiling. I forgot about the woman. I'm puzzled.
I say, who knows?
It's so.
That's the fun part of investigating.
It is, because you learn all these different things, and I mean, it could be complete bullshit.
Yeah.
Like it literally could just be one wild coincidence, and someone that's like not into the paranormal, they're like, these people are crazy, and they're all sharing stories with each other. But at the same time, if you really think about it, like, what are the odds that all of these different people have all experienced this at different times and haven't brought it up until that point?
So Addie didn't know that she presents, at least I believe this is what Shelly said, that Addie didn't know either who she was or at least that she presents herself older until after. I don't know if Adam knew. You had no idea when this happened. I guess this woman,
years ago.
this old woman has been a thing since 2018, and when we went that time, I believe it was 2023.
It might even have been 20.
Well, because I was there.
It was
started,
2023.
Yeah.
In 23, so that's 5 years later. And then I started having the dream the first time.
It was after the first time, yeah.
23 or early 24, I forget. But and then
But
Becca,
it's not that like she was like a.
But then Becca
like,
has
even,
also
angry spirit.
It was
and,
just a face.
Yeah, it's like just.
Well, that's
she
like
probably enjoys messing with people.
Shelly
but
said
like,
that
not enough.
Addie
like,
saw her in the
hurt,
bathroom and told Shelly like, because Shelly's like, oh, that's so and so, and Addie was like, well, make her leave, and Shelly was like, do you see her? And Addie was like, no. And then Shelly was like, she's gone. So it was just enough to like be there, scare Addie, and be gone.
Quick, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen her. I rely on like technology.
You see all the shadows.
I do see shadows, and like I'll hear
hand around the door.
But then after I learned
so
that
gross,
too,
dude.
it started making me think, because when we went the first time, I was sitting with Camden in her room, and we were watching the door, and there was a tall figure and a small figure that we were watching. And then you
saw the footsteps walk, because the door was closed the door.
But then when I started thinking on it deeper, I'm like, wild coincidence. This one's just on a whim, but it's like the tall figure, possibly like the woman, and then like the little kid I see. I don't know if it's connected, but the figures up there are grotesque.
Yeah. And that's no disrespect to the people that are there, but like,
no,
that building is fantastic. I mean,
they're not gross. Seeing them's gross.
I'm trying to think, like, is there anything else that happened that night before we dive into a different topic?
The Civil War side.
We had some
little
K2
things.
spikes.
Then we went to the whole room.
Then
we went to Sarah's room. And then we went up to 4. We really kept it like small because we had a lot of activity happen. We made Kate try the it's not human pendulum, like the doorway thing.
Yeah,
which is kind of fun.
Oh my god,
Charlie showed me.
Yeah, I don't know what that's
That
called,
one.
but it's a strange.
Charlie,
feeling.
it was for his
oh god
birthday, I believe, was the first time.
I want to say resonance chamber, but I don't think that's what it is. Lauren's going to listen to this maybe, and she's going to be like, these guys are a bunch of losers.
But Charlie was like, if you stand in the middle of a doorway, we do this thing. He was like, we do this thing here at Madison where you stand in a doorway. You put
we were talking about something completely different. I was talking about the room that Lauren made. I know what you're talking about.
Room.
Oh, well.
Yes. Okay. I know where you're going out with this. This is fucking
Charlie's
weird.
Like, we do this thing where we stand in the doorway and we put like our backs face the room. We relax ourselves.
Which is gross.
Similar to like if you guys like if you've ever done a human pendulum, like you relax yourself and you just like wait and see if the spirits move you, like push you one way, the other. And it's like, if you want me in here, pull me in. If you don't, push me out lightly. Don't hurt me, etc. You just relax, close your eyes, and you can feel yourself move. And so Charlie did it, and then someone else did it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. It's weird. But Kate was in Lauren's chamber while we were doing it, and she's not able to hear us out in the hallway. So she comes out. We're like, Kate, stand in the middle of the door.
But you had me do it, and because you guys.
We did it with Charlie.
Oh, because I
hadn't done it. Because I was like, what the hell are you guys? What the hell are you guys? They're like, just stand in the doorway.
No, we're like, stand in the doorway. Just stand in the doorway. He's like, why? I'm like, stand in the doorway and relax. And then he was like, oh.
Yeah. And again, like,
and it pushed us out. We only tried it in one room.
Yeah, it could be a psychosomatic thing, or it could be just. I mean, that building is electric.
I mean, you go from just standing, like I can stand with my eyes closed with no issues, but yet at that moment, it was like I felt something just push me. It was like I almost fell over, and you're like.
But it's not like you don't feel like hands on your back.
No,
it's just like all of a sudden,
like your body just.
I feel like the best way to explain it is like the space in front of your feet just slopes.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like, whoa, like you catch yourself. Like, I mean, I felt like someone was staring at me the whole time, but that's just because I was staring with my. That was just because I was standing with my back to an open doorway in a dark, spooky room. So, but the same thing happened to Kate, and we didn't tell her what it was, and it was like the exact same thing. But 10 out of 10. I love that building, and I
gotta go back again soon.
Yeah. Is there anything?
Who should we bring next time?
Yeah. So being that this was a post investigation podcast that happened 6 weeks after, is there anything you guys want to add in for this before we wrap this episode and get ready to film some more?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of it got covered in the video because I think we did a good job at like discussing, but also trying to debunk everything throughout the night.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. I think that's the most evidence that we've
had
ever captured, besides the hospital that we lost.
Yeah. That RIP that video footage.
We'll go back soon.
Yeah. But
it was a crazy night. I'm glad that Kate came out. I don't know if
shout out to Kate for that one because they were supposed to tour. So
real investigator.
Her and her fiance are getting married, and I had reached out to her and said, "Hey, do you want to investigate?" She's like, we're going to look at our venue." This homie came in clutch and moved the tour date for their venue specifically so she could come investigate with us. So shout out Kate, you the real one. Joe was supposed to come with us, but he had to watch the corgi. But yeah, I thought it was a good night. Caleb, any last thoughts?
It's always a great time at Madison, but a lot of big things coming for SSP this year, and I'm excited.
Yeah. Cool. Any last thoughts, Olivia?
I was going to say, if there's anyone, we're looking at getting more guests on the podcast, but we're also looking at some collab options. Hang out and investigate with some new people because we've had people like Kate come out and investigate with us. But we're going to try to bring in different people. But we're excited. But we have some ideas in mind. But if there's anyone that you guys would want to see us collab with, let us know so we can see what we can do. Or anyone that you guys want to see on the podcast, let us know.
Cool. Well, if you guys made it to the end of this video, we very much appreciate it. Hopefully, if you guys have not watched the Madison investigation video,
it worked hard, guys.
She did work really hard,
and we got scared, guys.
We'll put it in the link below. Same thing with our link tree.
Shop our merch.
Yeah, shop the merch.
We have a big thing coming later this year.
We're hopefully going to have some new merch. I was talking to Olivia about it a couple weeks ago about maybe doing like a summer launch or something like that for some merch with maybe some limited edition SSP. But again, thank you guys for all the support. We know we're a small channel, but those of you guys like James that comment first every single time,
James on top of it.
Real one. We appreciate the support. And if you, like Olivia said, if you guys have any suggestions for places you want us to investigate, people to collab with, podcast episodes, or even podcast topics, we can pretty much talk about anything for hours. That's why we started to do this. But with all that being said, thank you guys. Much love from the Shadow Sessions Paranormal trio. We love all of you guys, and hope you guys enjoyed this episode and have a great rest of your Monday night. Thanks, guys.
Bye.